So what happens is women tend, generally speaking, to be more emotional with their language. They are able to communicate more clearly what they're feeling. Like, I'm sad, I'm overwhelmed, I'm just frustrated about blank and blank. And they tend to have more emotional language. Dudes struggle more with that emotional language. You're not necessarily going to hear a dude say like, "Oh man, I'm just so sad about blank and blank and blank." Like, you're just not really gonna hear 2 dudes on the phone talking like that. But what dudes will say is they'll give you thoughts. They'll say, "Gosh, I don't know when I just need a break from work," or "Man, so and so's all over me today," or "Gosh, I came home and my wife and I, uh, we just it was like she did all I wanna do is I came home and all I wanna do is to watch the game, but my wife said we needed to go out to go do something with the kids." Like, all those thoughts are also have implied emotions to them: frustrated, overwhelmed, stressed, like, but what happens is people don't cue those in, and that's why husband and wife are in such a position to help each other. Sometimes, and I don't have anything against emotion wills because they're helpful because they give you the words. But sometimes people will say, "All right, CJ, how did that feel when this happened?" And the person will say, "Man, I feel like I just couldn't catch a break." And then the person said, "Well, that's not a feeling. Point to the word. Point to the feeling word." Like, I don't necessarily take that approach. If someone says, "Man, I just can't catch a break," I will give the feeling. "Well, dude, I could see how that's frustrating because you're telling yourself you can't take a break." Like, man. And then the person will give me something back. If they're not frustrated, they'll say, "No, I wasn't really frustrated. I was just confused
Mm.
because I'm working really hard and I just don't know when I'm gonna get a break." And then I would revalidate, "Well, dude, that actually makes sense because you are doing the best you can and there's no end in sight. Like, I could see how that's confusing because you don't really have clarity on when you're gonna get to go break." And then we would just keep fleshing it out like that. And a husband and wife, because we all have different strengths and weaknesses and our languages can be different, can help each other in that way. But oftentimes in relationships, they miss that opportunity. They'll say, "I don't know if he feels anything."
Mm.
But what I'll do is I'll be like, "Okay, this is when I will use it. I'll show, I did this a couple years ago. I'll show a list of emotion words. Hey, buddy, when's the last time, just read off all these emotions you've ever felt before." It'd be like sad, frustrated, overwhelmed, joyful, lonely. Just say, "I felt all these." And then it's like, wow, behind you felt each one of those emotions before. Behind every one of those emotions is a memory. You have, based on how many you said, you have there are so many conversations just sitting on the table of stories of times you felt sad. And those are opportunities for both of y'all to talk about that. Because when you talk about things like that, that's what connects people. When you're just giving facts or whatever, it doesn't necessarily feel connecting. But if I was like, "Man, dude, I felt so sad when my dog died, and this and this and this happened. And gosh, I just really miss Joy." And if you're like, "Dude, man, I remember when we had our first dog and this happened and it really was sad."
Mm.
And I felt that too. We would be connected. We've identified, we felt the same emotion. We both have a story of a time we felt that, and it would then deepen our bond. And oftentimes couples unintentionally miss these opportunities to more deeply connect because they'll often unintentionally,
Yeah.
'cause they just don't catch it. It's hard
Mm.
to catch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been, like, a big fan of the emotion wheel thing. I'm with you on that, so I think it's pretty
And
fascinating.
and I do think it has
Yeah.
utility. I think, though, if you're in a position to be with someone without interrupting the flow, because if it's like, "Hey, how did you feel? I feel like blank. I feel like no one likes me." And then if I say, "Well, no, 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 look at that. Tell me the feeling on it." I think that interrupts the conversation and the connection versus just rolling with it. Like, "Okay, I feel like no one likes me." Like, I dude, that's like a kind of a scary thought to think no one likes you, but yet every day you're going to work, you're going to school, you're talking to people, but to have the thought no one likes you, like that, like it'd be hard to get out of bed. Like you just give something back because you're having like a dialogue. I think that's more ideal than interrupting it and being like, well, no, no, no. What word is it on there? And I'm not saying that's the only way people use it, but
Right. But it's you could have a tendency to do that if you're not
to
careful.
rely on it.
Yeah. It's a good tool,
Mm,
but don't think it's
mm.
the one all be all.
Because the more important tool is the emotional connection.